Alright, boys and girls, I'm back with another video review, this time of iGear's MGT-06 Limited Collect Shadow Assassin. This is iGear's take on Nightbird from a single G1 episode. It was a tech demo made by a Japanese engineer in the storyline that was stolen by the Decepticons and used to wreak havoc on the Autobots. Here you see the packaging. It's a pretty basic G1 black grid style box. There's some characters on here. I don't know if they're Japanese or Chinese characters. I would assume them to be Japanese, but I don't know, because iGear is based out of China. There's really not much on the box. Bunch of warnings and just the black grid. And what I assume would probably say Shadow Assassin written all over the box. So, it's a pretty decent box, nice sturdy construction. It reminds me of the cardboard that they used on the Fans Project Superion, where it's kind of that waxy covered cardboard. Anyways, let's see what's inside. And here you have Nightbird with all the accessories. She comes with a stand that's made out of clear orange plastic. It's got a little metal base on it, so that way she can stick to it because she has magnets in her feet to help her stand on the stand. It should have been black. It's a good idea. It just should have been black. She also comes with a grappling hook and a chain that is just like some small chain link fleece metal. Doesn't look that bad, actually. She comes with a saber. Pretty long, pretty cool. It's modular, so it comes with these other two pieces that there's just two matching hilts and this gray piece that's obviously out of focus. There you go. You put all three of them together, you can make, I guess, some type of baton. That's again out of focus. How you focus worse? There we go. She also comes with two of these golden sais. Actually pretty nice. These are also die cast. And she comes with two ninja throwing stars, which I guarantee which will not focus. Yeah, we'll give up on trying to get close up to these. And a pair of nunchucks. How can you go wrong with nunchucks? By not focusing on them is how you can go wrong with nunchucks. This is ridiculous today, people. Ridiculous. Anyways, you get the idea. She also comes with instructions, which is funny since she doesn't transform. It's just basically how to make use of the weapon storage and other accessories. Last but not least, she comes with what is becoming a trend for iGear that I like. These little collector/trading cards. This one says number 0056, so I guess that's the number of my Nightbird, since there are only 500 of these supposed to be made. The card also has stats that are in a language I can't read and probably some backstory. Alright, now let's get to the figure itself. I will keep these accessories to the side. Nightbird is a pretty nice figure. I got this figure because I have the Impossible Toys, Quintessons, Sharkticon Guard, and even their animated Sumdak, Sari, and Officer, whatever his name is. And those Impossible Toys figures are pretty crappy. The Quintessons are fine, but those are pretty hard to mess up. It's just a single shot mold of an egg with a bunch of faces and a stand. So as long as the face sculpt and paint is done okay, There's really nothing wrong with them. But the Sharkticon guard was just terrible. As were the Sari and Sumdac. They're just terrible as figures. So when I saw Impossible Toys was doing Nightbird, I really didn't want to go there. Then a little bit later, well actually a lot later, iGear came out with this, and I pre-ordered it way back when. The figure is pretty nice, but I have an issue with it, is that I don't collect a lot of high-end action figures. Probably the most high-end action figure I currently own is this, which really isn't a high-end action figure. It's just better than what you would normally get in American shelves. And the problem I have with their take on Nightbird here is that this is not a $100 action figure. If I paid, what did I pay for this? $60 for SDCC? I expect a figure that has a lot of articulation. I mean, for a Bandai figure, this has a lot of articulation. This doesn't even have as much articulation as that Lion-O, which can be purchased at normal retail for 18 bucks. And this was $100 shipped. It's just not justified in the cost. The articulation is okay. I guess we can start with that. She's got ankle articulation, foot articulation. That's kind of hard to show, but her foot doesn't make bends. She's got, you can tilt the ankle up and down and rotate it. There's no shin articulation or anything there, so then it goes straight to the knee, which is a double knee, which that's good. So you got double knee articulation, and you've got a hip swivel on another pivotal and swivet. Then there's waist articulation, and then that's it. The rest of it is solid. The rest of the torso is solid. Head articulation, which is weird because it raises up as you turn it, because it's molded to stay flush, but as you make a turn, it's at least smart enough to allow it to raise, to allow it to make those turns. The shoulders, they've got some extended fly in here, rotate, and then there's essentially another shoulder inside of that, or I shouldn't say another shoulder. Bicep, elbow, wrist swivel, and pivot, and then the hand. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of articulation, but it's just not $100 figure articulation. I don't have any Hot Toys or any Sideshow collectibles, but even with the Sideshow collectibles that are probably double the price of this, like that Zartan looks to be like a really awesome action figure. And it's just not, you just don't get that with Nightbird. It's pretty show accurate. You can remove the chest cover, which reveals her inner workings, which are surprisingly show accurate. I took the time to watch this episode, and when she's kidnapped by the Decepticons and Bombshell is upgrading her, it's pretty much what it looked like on screen when he dropped in that big giant power source. That closes back up. She has weapon storage here, which is also fairly show accurate. You open that up, and this is where the throwing stars live. Close that back up, and then the throwing stars stay rattling around in her waist. Go around to the back. There's a booster built into the backpack. So you flip those out, and there's the booster. They're on pretty cool little hydraulics, so let's try to get this better in focus. So when you, what the F is it focusing on? So when you close this, you can see the little hydraulic being revealed. Try this focus again, because this is really annoying. There. The figure does have light piping. Let's see if I can get that. I won't be able to show it off, but there we go. That allows for light piping. Since I've got it in focus here, I'll turn around and let you see some of the sculpting. Here's something that I don't get with the figure design. So in the episode that Nightbird was in, she has these sais that are attached to her forearm. On her forearm, this clear detail that you see is just a rubber band. So I don't know how they expect this to work with retaining the sai on the forearm. Because if you roll these down and then try to put the sai in there, you can kind of do it, but it looks like shit. And once again, $100 action figure, nothing should really look like shit. And it doesn't really work either, because as you can see, I'm struggling over here trying to make this work. And this is as good as it gets. I mean, it's not 100% terrible, but once again, you have to consider the fact that they charged $100 for this figure. And that's just not that great. Also on the backpack, there is this little double clamp here that you can use, peg your nunchuck in. It's not super secure, but it's secure enough. So in the end, Nightbird is an okay toy, but when you consider the price, it goes from okay to just barely acceptable to me, in my opinion, at least. Because I mean, it looks good, it's decently posable, but it just doesn't feel like a $100 action figure to me. I mean, like I said, compare this to a Hot Toys, which are double the cost, but they're also double the size, or to even a Sideshow. I mean, it's just, none of this would fly on one of those figures, but it flew for iGear. And I apparently flew for it. But anyways, there you go. Shadow Assassin. Not worth $100. Definitely worth $40 to $60. If the figure was in the $40 to $60 price range, I wouldn't have really any qualms about it. But if they're still available, go for it.
No! They finally got her! We must rescue her and retrieve the world energy chip at once!
This, gentlemen, is the first female ninja robot. I have named her Nightbird.